Life insurance. Life insurance is to replace lost income due to death. Someone early in this business came up with a better marketing term, because it's not really life insurance, is it? It's death insurance. It insures your death, not your life. So when you die, someone else is going to get some money. So it's really of no concern to you. Yeah, it is, because we care about those that we leave behind, and we want to do a good job in our financial planning. And so what we're trying to do here is, if you're making some money and your family's eating off of that money and you die, you won't be making money anymore. And we need to replace that income that's lost due to death. Most people, when it comes to life insurance, have no idea what they own. And a scary statistic is this: 22% of the public, that's about a fourth, have no life insurance whatsoever. And that's a bad number, especially with rates the way they are today and how things are going on. Now, let's look at the different kinds of life insurance, because I've got a distinct opinion on this, and this is the lesson where I make all the insurance people really mad. I mean, really, 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 really hate mail mad. And you know how much I care? Not at all. So just send me some more things I can put in the shredder. It's fine with me. Couldn't care less. I've been studying this for years, and I've converted more people out of the insurance business to my way of thinking, because it's not really my way of thinking. This stuff's been taught for years in financial planning. Two kinds of life insurance. There's term life insurance. It's for a specified period, for a term. If you have 5-year term, it's for a 5-year term. That's why they call it that. It's cheaper, has no savings plan built into it. Then there are cash value insurance plans, and they're normally for life. They're more expensive, much more expensive, in order to fund a savings plan. And they sometimes are called permanent insurance. You may have heard them called that. Sometimes these are called whole life, or universal life, or variable universal life, or just variable life. These are the phrases used to cover cash value types insurance. Term is always called term. The rest of this has some other kind of name always, and it builds a savings plan inside of it. But I don't know that there's really anything permanent about your need for life insurance. The most common insurance myth is that the need for life insurance is a permanent situation. The only permanent situation I can think of is your agent's need for a commission. 20 years from now, if you do what we teach, you will have become self-insured. Let's think through this for just a second. Who in here is about, say, like 30 years old with a couple of kids? Right here. What's your all's names?
Dwayne and Brenda Phillips.
Dwayne and Brenda. Good to meet you, sir. Looking all proper here in your tie. You're sharp, man. So how old are your kiddos?
We have one that's 8 and one that's 10 months.
One that's 8 and one that is 10 months. Perfect. Would y'all just kind of stand up? I'm not going to mess with you or make you mad or anything. I just need a really good example, okay? 8 and 10 months. Wow, very cool. All right, Dwayne and Brenda. Did I do that right? Okay, I've got a good memory. It's just short. Okay, now, Dwayne and Brenda are 30 years old. They've got 2 kids. Now, think about this for a second. If they bought 20-year level term life insurance, like I suggest, 20 years from now, they'll be 50. 20 years from now, the 8-year-old will be 28 and should have left home. Then we've got the 10-month-old that will be about 21 years old, probably in college, and about to leave home. Now, let's say that at that point, they do what I teach and they took out no more than a 15-year mortgage. Their house would be paid for, wouldn't it? Say yes.
Yes.
Would they have any other debt?
No.
Never. Okay. Would they have an emergency fund fully funded? 20 years later, easy, right? Now, let's just think a minute. We're not trying to get rid of you anytime soon, but let's say at 52 years old, he drops dead with no insurance. The kids are grown and gone. She has $800,000 in the investment plan and a paid-for house. No insurance. Can she suffer through?
Yes.
You've become self-insured using financial planning. Getting out of debt, building wealth, and growing up the kids and tossing them out helped you to become self-insured. Does that make sense? So see why there is not a permanent need for life insurance?
Yes.
This is what we're dealing with. It was a September day. My assistant came in and said, Dave, there's a a guy outside in the reception area that wants to meet you. And I get over there, I walk into our reception area, and this young guy stands up in the middle of September with a stocking cap on. And his pretty little wife stands up beside him, and I said, well, hi, I'm Dave. And he said, my name's Steve. I'm Steve Manus. And he said, I just wanted to stop by and tell you thank you. I'm thinking, thank me for what? And he said, Dave, you changed our lives. The stuff you teach, it's unbelievable. And I said, well, thanks, that's really nice. Actually, I was writing, so it's kind of inspiring, so I thought, this is nice. And he said, no, you just really don't understand, do you? And I said, well, you're welcome. I'm glad you're winning. And he said, no. And he reached up and he took a stocking cap just like this off the top of his head. And I went, wow. Because there was a big scar right across the top of his head. Of course, his head had been shaved because he'd been operated on. He said, Dave, I'm 28 years old. I got brain cancer. The doc says I'm not gonna make it. This is my 23-year-old wife, Sandy. Because of what you teach, Sandy's gonna be okay. And he said, Dave, before all this happened, we were out of debt. We had an emergency fund. And I'm thinking, that's important, but what's that matter in light of this? And he said, no. I got $400,000 in term life insurance on me before this happened. Sandy's gonna be okay. And we got an HSA. We got a good health savings program. And so 100% of my medical bills have been paid. And everything's going to be okay financially. He said, you don't know how much easier it makes it to fight cancer when you're doing it from that kind of a setting. Thank you. Well, Steve Manus and I became friends right then. And we walked with him and Sandy as they fought the cancer. And you know how fighting cancer is. It comes back, and then you think you're going to beat it, and then it comes back again. And I wrote about them because of the importance of insurance in one of my books. And a wealthy friend of mine read the story and anonymously gave them the gift of a 7-day cruise in the Caribbean. Well, November 17th, Steve came by the office with his dad, and he just became a friend to everybody on our team. He was an inspiration. He was something else. 11 days later, 4:30 in the afternoon, we lost Steve Manus. If he had lived just 3 more days, we'd have been able to introduce him to his son, Whitten. Sandy and Whitten, it's a sad story, but they're doing really well. Whitten's a little pistol, kind of like his dad. You see, the things that we talk about around here, it's about life. Don't confuse financial planning with doing the right thing for your family. It's about life.
Okay, we're about to go into a Debbie Downer subject. You ready? We're going to talk about the importance of writing a will. A will is a legal document that lists a person's wishes on how their money and property should be handled after their death. It covers things like who gets your car or whether or not you want to be an organ donor. Now, I get that you're young, and even talking about death feels creepy and morbid. But the truth is, life is totally unpredictable. That's why I recommend that everyone 18 and older get a will. You might not have much or anything to leave, but you still need one. By planning ahead, you will make things easier on your loved ones if anything happens to you. It's a powerful way to show that you care. And it's a relatively simple process. As you get older and buy more things and increase your savings, be sure to update your will. Trust me, it only takes a few minutes, but it is so worth it.